and bright village of Obenyu, where tall palm trees swayed to the rhythm of the breeze, lived a girl called Zina. She grew up dark, radiant and beautiful, her skin glowing like sun-warmed bronze, her eyes deep and mysterious like a still river hiding secrets. Her presence was striking. Her hips moved like music and her breasts full like the moon on harvest night. Her beauty turned every head on the footpath. But Zina's beauty came with a hidden sorrow. A deep kind that Zina felt, an emptiness she couldn't describe. A quiet ache that seemed to live deep in her bones, blooming into something she couldn't name. By the time she turned 15, her own body started turning against her. Each time she saw a man, any man, her heart would race. Her hands got sweaty and her legs would shook. Even when it was Obim, the village drunk, muttering her name through a fog of beer, her body betrayed her. She shook like leaves under the rain. She followed him into the shadows of the bush, not out of desire, but something heavier. When she came back she was filled with shame and feeling shattered. The village market woman hissed, saying, "She is not even ashamed. Look at her," they said. "She can follow even a madman." To the men, she was nothing but a plaything. Some of them waited by the stream, certain she wouldn't refuse. They didn't plead with her. They didn't even speak or ask her. They already knew. They knew her body would move before her voice had a chance to fight back. Even when her lips whispered, "Please, leave me," her hands would still pull them closer. Her mother, Mom Ngozi, was lost. She didn't know what to do. She wept. She yelled. She dragged Zina to pastors, to herbalists, to clerics. But nothing changed. The girl would swear, "Mama, I'll stop," but she never could. The only peace she found in this world was with Auntie Oloma, her late father's sister. Auntie Oloma was like a second mother to Zina. She is gentle and kind, always wrapped in flowing cloth, the scent of bitter cola trailing her breath. She had no children of her own, but her love for Zina was deep and steady. Whenever Zina came home crying with torn clothes and mud on her skin, it was Auntie Oloma who wrapped her arms around her. She will cradle her close and whisper, "Don't cry, my child. You're not bad. It is the world that is wicked." She always makes sure she comforts Zina. She stood by Zina and took care of her when she fell ill. She hugged her when she was shaking from desire she couldn't control. Quiet, patient, and full of warmth, Auntie Oloma was Zina's only safe place. "Maybe it's just your season," Auntie Oloma would say in her calm voice. "Maybe the gods are testing you." Zina cherished her. Auntie Oloma was the only soul who didn't look at her with blame or judge her. But in the village, the whispers only grew sharper. Women fight their husbands because of Zina. Teenage boys laughed and pointed fingers. Even the children sang cruel rhymes, "Zina go follow goat, as long as it wears cloth." One afternoon, while buying bananas at the market, Zina spotted a strange man, chewing cola nut and chuckling to himself. "He looks tattered and dirty." Flies circled him like he was their king. Yet, something inside her stirred. Her fingers quivered. Her breath came fast. Her basket hit the ground. Before she could stop herself, they were behind the yam stall. The potato seller gasped and cried out, "Hi. Zina has done it again, with that madman." Her shame shot up, towering above the rooftops. But her body only found calm after they did. As the night crept in, cold, dark and quiet, Zina rose from her mat, her chest heavy like a sack of stones. The whole village lay deep in sleep, but sleep had long abandoned her eyes. She sat there in the dark, face wet with quiet tears. The weight was unbearable, the shame, the mockery, the whispers. The way men devoured her with their eyes, and women watched her like a cursed thing. So, without a word, she packed a small bag, just a wrapper. A calabash filled with dry gari. No goodbye and no glancing back. She left the village. Her legs moved before her thoughts could catch up. She crossed the stream and vanished into the thick mouth of the dark forest. She didn't know where the path would lead her to, but she knew that she couldn't stay. Healing or death, she would meet whichever one came first, she thought within herself. The forest stretched wide and wild. Her feet were bruised and bleeding. Her lips cracked. Thorns tore at her skirt. Still, she kept going. And then, after countless steps, after many hours, she saw a light. Faint. Distant. But it was something, and she pulled herself toward it with the last strength she had. Tucked deep within the heart of the forest stood a small clay hut, smoke curling out lazily from its roof, and a dim light flickering inside like a tired flame. She was scared, but she knocked, once, and then twice. Just as her knees gave out and was about to faint, the door creaked open. Standing before her was a man not taller than her waist, with a beard long, white, and twisted like an old rope. He looked at her with knowing eyes for a moment. Then he said, "The cursed one." "Zina." She gasped. "You know my name?" "I know more than that," he said. "Come in, before the forest swallows you whole." She stepped in and sat down as he told her. His gaze didn't leave her face. "Zina, you are cursed," he said. "Not by nature. Not by the gods. But by wicked hands." Then he gave her a task that made her blood run cold. He told her she must return to her village. "She is cursed, and her soul," he said, "had been tied to a dog. To break the curse, she must go back, with her mother, and search for that dog. Walk through the village," he instructed. "Your mother must ask every dog owner if they're willing to sell. The one who refuses, that is your curse." Zina's heart pounded. Her eyes widened. And before the sun had fully risen the next morning, she was already running, like her life depended on it, racing back to Obanu to tell her mother the shocking truth. That morning, the village was wrapped in a thick silence as Zina stepped back into Obanu village. Her clothes were torn, her feet swollen and cracked, and her eyes dulled by exhaustion. She burned with a fierce, desperate kind of hope. She didn't stop to greet anyone. She made her way straight to her mother's hut, her legs trembling beneath her. The moment she stepped inside, she dropped to her knees. "Mama," she gasped, breath catching in her throat, "I found the answer." A stunned Mom Ngozi stared down at her daughter. "There is a native doctor," Zina continued, "deep in the forest. He told me the truth. I am cursed, Mama. My soul is tied to a dog." Her voice cracked as she spoke. "He said we must go together from house to house. Every home with a dog, we must ask to buy it. And the one who refuses to sell, that's where the curse lives. Please come with me. I need your help," Zina pleaded. Her mother stared down at her, silent for what felt like forever. Then she let out a long, bitter breath. "How many times will you chase shadows?" she said at last. "I have taken you to shrines. To churches. To mosques. I have watched you collapse at the feet of prophets and herbalists alike. Still, nothing. And now, it's a dog. Zina, I am tired and I can't follow you." Zina clutched her hands together, her voice trembling. "Please, Mummy. Just this once." But Mom Ngozi turned away. "I won't shame myself again," she said, her words sharp and cold. "Go alone if you must. But I won't be part of it." Her voice cut deeper than any knife. Zina stepped out of the hut, her mother's words echoing behind her like a beating drum. Her heart shook, but her legs knew where to go. One last place where she might find someone who believed and supports her. The next morning, Zina found her. Auntie Oloma. She was sitting beneath the kompola tree, quietly picking beans. When Zina arrived in tears, the woman looked up, alarmed. She stood quickly, dusting her wrapper. "What is it, child?" she asked, eyes full of worry. Zina dropped to her knees and poured out everything: the forest dwarf, the curse, the dog, the task. Auntie Oloma listened quietly. Then she gently held Zina's hand. "Wipe your tears. If your mother won't stand with you, I will." At dawn, they began. House to house. They asked, "Papa Sunday, will you sell your dog?" He laughed. "Take it. That dog eats everything he sees." So they continued, compound to compound. They asked Auntie Amoka, Papa Obiora, Mama Vincent, Auntie Chidima. All said yes. No one refused to sell. By midday, they were tired. Hearts low. "Maybe the dwarf lied," Zina whispered. As they turned down the narrow path home, they heard the village drunk laugh. Obim stumbled toward them, bottle in hand. "Why you buying dogs?" he slurred. "Has your mother sold the one she's kept under her bed all these years?" They froze. Zina froze. "What did you say?" But Obim only laughed harder, waved them off, and walked away. "My mother doesn't own a dog," Zina said, confused. Auntie Oloma's eyes narrowed. "He may be drunk, but madness often speaks truth. We need to look into this." That afternoon, while Mom and Gozi was at the market, they searched the hut. Behind the baskets. Under the mat. And then, beneath the bed, they found it. A locked wooden box, hidden under old wrappers. Auntie Oloma smashed the lock with a stone. It snapped open. Inside lay a thin dog, a red thread tied around its neck. In its mouth, an old, faded photo of Zina. She screamed and was so short of words. The curse had a face now. The evil had a body. The dog was placed outside for all to see. Elders were summoned. Villagers watched in shock. Mom Ngozi was summoned. She fell to her knees, sobbing. Then she started confessing. "I was young," she whispered. "They forced me to marry your father. I hated him," Mom Ngozi confessed, her voice hollow. "When I became pregnant, I felt my life slipping away. I tried every bitter herb to get rid of you, but you stayed. And I hated you for it, Zina. I felt you were the main person that took away my happiness. So I went to a priest," she said. "I tied your soul to that dog, to your picture, so you would always be restless, always yearning, always empty, always ruined, never whole." Cries broke out from the crowd. Zina dropped to the ground, shaking. The dog let out one low, painful whimper and then, it died. Moments later, Mom Ngozi's eyes rolled back and she collapsed. She was frozen, like stone, breath still, eyes wide open. A silence fell. She never spoke again. The next morning, Zina woke up different. Still. Quiet. But not empty. Her body didn't burn. Her skin didn't crawl. The hunger that drove her into the arms of men was gone. She was free. She moved in with Auntie Oloma, who wrapped her in love and healing. She remained happy and always felt complete. The morals of the story. 1. Curses don't always come from wicked people or strangers. Sometimes, they are born from the wounds, pain and bitterness of those who should have protected us. 2. Healing starts with facing, not denying what haunts you. Zina's freedom comes through facing darkness and fighting for healing. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories from this channel. Bye for now.